What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here again with my Week 13 wide receiver rankings. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to bring that fantasy football championship home this season, that is. Smash that like button. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. If you need start sit advice, help advice, anything like that, I can help with that. And let's dive into these rankings. Hopefully this works, but let's dive in the beginning ones and then we'll be good. So at number 13, week 13, halfway PPR. At number 1, I've got Jamar Chase against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been great against wide receivers this year, but Jamar Chase is a different breed, so I'm playing him with full confidence this week. 2, A.J. Brown against Baltimore. Awful secondary for Baltimore, and they'll have to throw in this one, hopefully. I think the Eagles will be able to keep up with them, the Ravens should hopefully be able to keep up with the Eagles, and they should have to throw over the second half. 3, Nico Collins against Jacksonville. Awesome matchup for him. I don't think they have anyone on the roster that can stop him. I just don't know what the game script's going to be looking like in the second half of that one. 4, Justin Jefferson against Arizona. Jefferson, dud week this last week, but he is still a stud. You're rolling him out there every week with full confidence. 5, Puka Nacua against New Orleans. He's got a ton of targets. Got it done last week against Philly in a tough matchup. This is a great matchup against New Orleans. 6, Mike Evans. We talked about him in the buy low, sell highs for a long time. If your guys' trade deadlines are still open, go try to see if you can get Mike Evans still. It wasn't a monster week, and his schedule rest of the season is phenomenal. So check out Mike Evans if you can. 7, Amon-Ra St. Brown against Chicago. Amon-Ra St. Brown's down a little lower than he normally is. Reason being, he's banged up, questionable for this one. I expect him to be out there, but that's why he's got the slight downgrade in this one. But you're rolling. If he plays, you're playing him. It's that simple. 8, George Pickens against Cincinnati. Pickens has been really good lately, and Cincinnati's given up a ton of points this year. Their defense is horrendous. 9, CeeDee Lamb against the Giants. I think he's going to have a really good game in this one. I don't think the Giants are able to slow him down in any way, shape, or form. And he should get a lot of volume, so eventually do a lot of yards. 10, Cooper Kupp against New Orleans. A great matchup for him, and he's still been getting the targets despite Puka Nacua just balling out. So he's got great touchdown upside every single week, about as high as you can get for a receiver who's not, one of the big dogs, who's not Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jamar Chase, somebody like that. 11, Drake London against the Chargers. Solid matchup. They're about middle of the pack against wide receivers. Drake London was top 5 before he started to struggle with injuries, so you're playing him in that one. 12, T. Higgins against Pittsburgh. Again, a tougher matchup with the way that Joe Burrow has been playing, his history against Pittsburgh, and how good T. Higgins and Jamar Chase both are. I still have him as a top 12 wide receiver this week. 13, Malik Nabers. Now, this is something to look into. The way that things are looking right now is that Drew Lock is going to play on Thanksgiving. Tommy DeVito is reportedly not flown with the team to Dallas, so that means there's a strong indicator he is not playing. Drew Lock is an upgrade for me for Malik Nabers. DeVito just does not get it done, but I think Drew Lock is one of the quarterbacks who can throw for 200-plus yards, which greatly increases his ceiling for a guy like Malik Nabers. Also, there was a lot of talk this last week about him, about not receiving a target until the team was down 30 points. I do think he's going to get the ball early and often in this one, and he should get the ball quite a bit, and he's balled against Dallas in their last matchup with Daniel Jones. 14, Terry McLaurin against Tennessee. The Titans have been good against wide receivers for the majority of this year, but L'Jarius Sneed, their starting cornerback, has been placed on injured reserve. He's going to miss this one for sure. And we saw last week, Tank Dell and Nico Collins both be able to get it done in terms of yardage. That's what you're hoping for in Terry McLaurin in this one. And he hasn't had a ton of targets these last 2 weeks. I kind of expect that to change. Seeing what he's able to do in the ball with his hands at the end of last week's game. Got there late. But I'm playing Terry McLaurin as a wide receiver 5 on the year. 15, Cortland Sutton against Cleveland. Cortland Sutton's been balling this year. You got to play him. Oh, sorry, guys. Smashed the mic there. Cortland Sutton's been playing awesome this year. Cleveland has not been good against wide receivers. You're playing Cortland Sutton in this one. 16, Calvin Ridley against Washington. Ridley has been really good from a yardage perspective these last several weeks. He's had a few plays called back. He gets one of those plays, he's going to have an awesome day. You can play Calvin Ridley every week moving forward with his schedule and the target volume that he's receiving. 17, Tyreek Hill against Green Bay. Tyreek Hill's definitely got a downgrade. I do think this wrist injury has been hindering him more than people have realized, but you're still playing him. He's got a great chance of a touchdown every week because of how explosive he is. Or I guess I should say a great chance of having that one play that can make your whole week. He still has that, so you can still play him. 18, Jaxson Smith-Njigba against the Jets, especially with the way that target volume he's been getting recently and the way that the Jets match up defensively. They've been much worse over the last 4 weeks against wide receivers and quarterbacks, and JSN plays a lot in the slot, which will be away from Sauce Gardner, and they're a good quarterback, so I think he's going to get it done in that one. Zay Flowers against Philly. The Philly corners have been really good. It'll be interesting to see where they line Zay up, if they move him in the slot a little bit more in this one to get him away from that tough coverage on the outside. But I still think you're playing Zay in that one. They should have to throw more than normal. 20, Jawan Jennings against Buffalo. Monitor Brock Purdy's situation. He reportedly threw one pass today in practice. That's obviously concerning. It is only a Wednesday, though, but if Brock Purdy is out there, Jawan Jennings is a great play. 21, Davante Adams against Seattle and Garrett Wilson against Seattle. View these guys pretty similarly. Davante gets a little bit more targets the last few weeks, the way it's been looking or trending, I should say. But Garrett Wilson's been more productive so far this year. So I'm playing Davante Adams over Garrett Wilson, but I'm probably playing both of them. 23, DK Metcalf. When I started my rankings, I did not think he was going to be this low on my list. But, gosh, this is tough. He's maybe my hardest player to rank this week just because how poorly the Jets have been performing, but I do think he rarely plays in the slot. So I do think he'll primarily have Sauce Gardner on the whole game. Gardner has not been nearly as good this year or recently, but coming off the bye, it's something to monitor. 24, Marvin Harrison Jr. against Minnesota. This is a good matchup for Marvin Harrison Jr. He should really be able to get there in this one. Should have a good game just based off of Minnesota's their defense and their style of play. 25, Ladd McConkey gets Atlanta. He's been getting there, getting it done for fantasy football lately. He's the number one wide receiver in this offense, and I have no doubt about that. And this is a great matchup against Atlanta. 26, DJ Moore against Detroit. Detroit, if they've struggled anywhere, it's been the secondary. I think they'll have to throw a lot in this one with how the Detroit Lions offenses look this year. So expect DJ Moore to get a lot of work, especially in the second half. 27, Deebo Samuel against Buffalo. Deebo just has not been that good this year. I do think he gets a slight bump. Comparatively to Jawan Jennings, I think he gets a slight bump if it's a backup quarterback again because of the design plays, but I'm not excited to play both of the backup. Either, I should say, if the backup plays. 28, Darnell Mooney against the Chargers. If his target volume continues the way we've seen it recently, he'll be fine in this matchup. Just monitor this health situation. Jaden Reed, 29 and 30. Christian Watson against Miami. Both these guys could have massive games. We've seen them do it before, but they're just so hit or miss. That's why they're down here. But Christian Watson's not typically a top 30 guy. He is this week. Good matchup. Romeo Doubs is out, so these are the top two pass catchers for the Packers, and I expect them both to have a really good chance to get there for fantasy this week. Alrighty, if you guys have made it to this point in the video, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy football and your family. Thankful for all of you guys who have subscribed, all you guys that watch, everything. I love having this channel. I love getting to interact with you guys. Just brings a lot of joy and fun to my life. So just wanted to say that, and I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. This has been Fantasy Joe. See you guys next time.